Why are you here? Despite our completely chilled marriage, my husband suggested celebrating my birthday at a fancy restaurant. I suspected he had some ulterior motive, but to my surprise, his affair partner was also waiting at the restaurant.
I wanted to celebrate your birthday too, ma'am. This is a little birthday present from me and your husband.
It was a divorce paper. What a tacky surprise. However, I countered by giving them something that would plummet my husband and his affair partner to rock bottom. Instead, I'll give you both this. It's my final gift to you. Upon seeing it, they would have to show a pitiful appearance to beg for my forgiveness. My name is Anna. Originally, I worked as an administrative assistant at a regular company, but now I'm a stay-at-home wife at the behest of my husband, Sam. Sam and I often cross paths at work since we joined the company at the same time and gradually became close due to shared interests. He was good at talking and being affectionate, and I fell for him and actively pursued him, leading to dating and marriage. With my fondness for him, I tended to follow his lead from the beginning of our relationship. I thought as long as our relationship was harmonious, it was fine, but because of that, Sam often made strong demands on me. With high evaluations from the company and on the fast track for promotion, Sam insisted that I resign after marriage to become a stay-at-home wife because he wanted to focus on his career. But I love my job right now, and I finally got assigned to a project.
Just because, Anna, no matter how hard you work, you're never going to outdo me in career advancement, right? So, it'd be better for you to settle down at home and support me while you can.
Is that really true? Internally, I still had the desire to continue working, but I convinced myself that maybe Sam was right, and ultimately, I retired. Even after marriage, Sam continued to assert his own beliefs. Hey, I'm thinking of going to my parents' house on the next day off, but what about you, Sam?
You know I hate dealing with that kind of hassle. I'm tired from work, so I want my days off to be my own time. They're your parents, so you should just go by yourself.
After the initial meeting and wedding ceremony, Sam never met my parents again. While I occasionally visited my parents' home to see my father and mother, Sam never accompanied me. I had resigned myself to his detached attitude towards relationships, but I couldn't help but feel saddened by how he disregarded my beloved parents. This kind of married life with Sam passed by for 10 years. Welcome home. I was just about to make your favorite dish. I greeted Sam cheerfully as he returned home from work. However, when he saw my face, he let out an annoyed sigh.
Look, I've had enough of that. I'm sick of the charity act. I'm tired, so I don't need dinner tonight. I just came home to sleep, and I have an early day tomorrow, so just leave me alone.
With a cold remark, Sam turned and headed straight to our bedroom, leaving me feeling miserable. Another day, and he didn't even eat. Whether it was due to his busy work schedule or not, lately Sam had been coming home late, so I tried to at least make him comfortable at home by preparing his favorite dishes every day. However, Sam usually ate dinner outside, hardly ever touching the meals I had prepared. Still, I continued to wait for him at home as a stay-at-home wife, making meals for his return. Since when did we become so distant? With tears welling in my eyes, I covered the uneaten meal once again and stored it in the refrigerator. Our marriage, which had initially gone smoothly, began to deteriorate as Sam climbed the corporate ladder and assumed a managerial position, bringing with it more stress. And he began to reject communication with me upon returning home, citing tiredness. Although I continued to try to talk to him, Sam only grew more irritated, and no matter what I did, it seemed to be in vain. I had hoped that time would resolve things, but as the days passed, the gap between us deepened. I reassured myself that his aggressiveness was due to his busy work schedule. All I could do was wait quietly at home and avoid rubbing Sam the wrong way emotionally as much as possible. However, an event occurred that trampled on my feelings. One day, while Sam was taking a bath after returning home, the house phone rang, setting off a chain of events. Hello?
Hello, is this Sam's residence? It seems he forgot his smartphone at the office.
From the voice, it was clear she was a young woman. Well, I'm sorry to bother you. He's currently in the bath, but I'll let him know as soon as he's out.
I see. Then I'll just bring it over, okay? I know where he lives.
No, that's not necessary. I'll have my husband pick it up later, so please don't worry.
I have time, so it's okay. Well then, I'll head over there now.
Pressured by her persistence, I ended up agreeing, and she ended up coming over to deliver Sam's smartphone. Hey, you. Someone from work called saying you forgot your smartphone and she's coming to deliver it. It was a young woman's voice.
Really? Got it.
When I informed Sam, who had just come out of the bath, he visibly became uneasy and started acting suspiciously. About an hour after the phone call, the doorbell rang. Answering it, I heard the voice of the woman from the phone. Please wait, I said as I opened the front door, and there stood a young woman in her early 20s.
Nice to meet you. Are you Sam's wife? Is he around?
She had the appearance that men would like. She peeked into our house with a somewhat clingy tone, wearing a miniskirt and slightly heavy makeup. I had a gut feeling that she emanated a negative vibe.
Oh, Emily, sorry for the trouble.
Pausing right by my side, my husband stood in front of the woman whom he called Emily. They exchanged inconspicuous conversation while she handed him his smartphone. However, the atmosphere between them seemed oddly familiar, and it gave me an uncomfortable feeling.
Sorry for coming so late. See you again, Sam.
With those words, she left. The front door slammed shut. All that remained was the strong scent of the expensive perfume she wore. It seems like you're quite friendly with her.
What's with the sudden interrogation? Emily is just a colleague.
Gee, you sure call each other pretty intimately, don't you? She sounded polite on the phone, but when she came over, she was deliberately calling him Sam in a way that seemed overly familiar to show off to me.
She is just outgoing. Besides, everyone calls each other with intimacy. Not just me.
Outgoing? Ha? Oh, so that's why she knew our home. Even though she's never been invited to her boss's house, she came without hesitation. Quite a sharp memory she has.
What are you trying to say?
My husband finally snapped at my probing behavior. I usually wouldn't interrogate my husband like this. But deep down, I had a vague suspicion that he might have an affair. Although I hadn't investigated the matter, I had a gut feeling that the woman named Emily from earlier was indeed his affair partner, and I became fervent in my pursuit. You always said you were late because of work, but maybe there's another reason behind it. You might think you're hiding it from me, but it's so obvious. The period when he started coming home late due to work and when he started showing a cold attitude towards me coincided. And the only plausible explanation was one: the possibility of infidelity. Why not just admit it?
Tesk, stop bothering me. It's just a fling with her.
Admitting to cheating, huh?
I was just under stress from work, and she invited me out, and I just went along with it. There's nothing physical between us. It doesn't even count as cheating.
My relentless questioning seemed to wear him down, and Sam admitted to the affair, but he insisted there was no physical relationship. From the atmosphere between them, it was clear that they weren't just friends, but I had no evidence or means to pursue it at the moment.
What are you going to do if I admit to cheating? Divorce me. As a stay-at-home wife with a gap in your work history, you can't just leave me and get a job, right? So, you'd be the one in trouble.
Putting himself on a pedestal, Sam cruelly laughed at me and belittled me. He knew that I hadn't worked for the past 10 years as a stay-at-home wife. Even if I wanted to find a job, I might struggle. Realizing this, Sam was convinced that even if he cheated, I wouldn't divorce him.
You, depending on me for support, have no right to act all high and mighty. Just because I talked to a younger girl, you think you can scold me?
I'm done. Fed up with Sam's lack of apology, I ended the conversation.
Huh? Are you jealous of a pretty young girl or something? A stay-at-home hag like you should just obediently follow me.
Sam laughed at me disdainfully, spewing insults, then returned to the living room. Despite trying to ignore it to protect my own feelings, it was clear that Sam was looking down on me and mocking me. There was no longer any trust between us. Even though I used to love him so much, I realized that my feelings were rapidly fading away because of this incident. I won't just take this lying down. I'll definitely make him apologize. I silently swore revenge in my heart. I realized that it was time to use the power Sam didn't know I had. After that, I went about my daily life as usual on the surface. Sam still came home late without any remorse. The only thing I did differently was to stop cooking for Sam. There was a time when Sam came home and asked, "Where's dinner?" And I told him, I'm not going to bother cooking for someone who doesn't know when they'll come home. Upon hearing that, Sam selfishly got angry and said, "I'll never eat your cooking again." Our relationship as a married couple continued to deteriorate. But one day, as my birthday approached, Sam, unusually, approached me.
Hey, I've made a reservation at a restaurant for your birthday.
Of course, my birthday hadn't been celebrated for years. I wondered what was going on, but I didn't pursue it and simply said, "Thank you. I'm looking forward to it." I had no idea what he was up to. However, from my husband's demeanor and attitude, it was clear that he wasn't really intending to celebrate my birthday. Just to be safe, it might be a good idea to prepare various things in advance. I decided to prepare something that would deal a significant blow to Sam and his affair partner, Emily. On the day of my birthday, my husband had indeed made a reservation at a restaurant. It was a high-end restaurant often featured in magazines. We were escorted inside by the staff, and Sam and I headed to our table. However, to my disbelief, there was an unexpected person sitting at the table. "Why are you here?"
Oh, hi. Long time no see. I also wanted to celebrate your birthday, so I asked Sam to take me along.
It was Emily, his affair partner, wearing the same revealing outfit and heavy makeup as when she visited our house before. What is the meaning of this? I interrogated my husband, who was sitting next to her, but Sam remained silent, pretending to be clueless.
Now, please take a seat. Everything will be clear once you see this.
Emily pushed a piece of paper in front of me as she said that. This is
A birthday present from me and Sam.
It was a divorce paper. Upon closer inspection, Sam's signature was already on it.
I'm tired of living with you. I want a divorce.
What a tasteless surprise. Why bother making a restaurant reservation instead of just handing over the divorce paper to me directly? You want to mock me till the end, don't you?
It's just that I wanted you to have a nice meal together before you split. Nothing more.
Emily grinned with a malicious expression, watching my reaction. This tacky situation must have been her idea.
Just a little joke, you see. Were you really expecting me to celebrate your birthday?
I'm not that thrilled about it either. I suspected you were up to something, but I didn't expect such an nonsensical surprise.
Oh, is it sour grapes?
Indeed, I'm the loser here. And you are a boring man who enjoys mocking people and ridiculing them with his mistress. I'll take the divorce paper and submit it. I said that as I took the divorce paper from the table. In return, I have a present for you two. It's my final gift. Make sure to read it. I placed a letter on the table and turned my back on them, heading to leave the restaurant. From behind, I could hear their triumphant yet vulgar laughter. Ignoring the confused waiter as I left without eating, I exited the restaurant. With the divorce paper in hand, I hurried to a certain place. I wanted it to be processed as soon as possible. Fortunately, the district court was nearby. I started walking to submit this divorce paper immediately. I wanted to sever ties with such a man as soon as possible. As I thought the district court was still open, now I can finally be free from that man. Thinking so, I heard someone calling my name loudly.
Hey, Anna, wait. Wait for me.
Sam noticed me at the entrance of the district court and called out to me. He must have rushed here as his breathing was heavy. Beside him was his affair partner, Emily. Her hair was disheveled, a stark contrast from when I saw her at the restaurant earlier. She must have run to catch up with me, just like Sam did. Oh, what's up? I knew they had hurried to chase after me after seeing that letter, but I pretended to innocently ask.
The divorce was just a joke. The affair was all made up to get your attention. It was a surprise. You see, we were kind of in a rut, weren't we?
What a desperate excuse.
It's true. I just helped with the surprise because the boss asked me to.
Ignoring their desperate excuses, I tried to enter the district court. Their sudden change in attitude was because they had read the letter I handed them. The letter revealed that the president of the company, the most important client of Sam's company, was actually my father. Although Sam knew that my father owned the company, he had never met him since our wedding, and my maiden name was so common that he hadn't realized that the president of their client company was my father. Knowing the truth, Sam must have turned pale, because with my father's influence, it would be effortless to fire both of them working at the same company.
It's not too late to start over now. Please come back. Please, I beg you, this is true.
Sam, in front of the bustling district court, knelt down on the ground without caring about the onlookers. His affair partner, Emily, also knelt down similarly. They both seemed desperate to avoid losing their jobs. Oh, it's too late. Sorry to make you show such a pathetic sight, but I've already submitted the divorce papers.
You were about to enter the district court building just now. Don't lie.
I'm sorry for getting your hopes up, but I actually forgot my bag at the counter and needed to go back for it. Sorry for the misunderstanding, but you and I are complete strangers. See, I showed them my empty hands to indicate that I didn't have my bag. It seemed like they had mistaken me for being at the entrance of the district court, but in fact, I had already submitted the divorce papers at the counter.
What the? Damn it. You'll be the one embarrassed later for divorcing a faithful husband.
That's right. Falling for a simple surprise. Can you take a joke?
Despite their frantic attempt to catch up and prevent me from submitting the divorce papers, they ended up futilely cursing and changing their attitude again. Oh, you're still trying to play innocent, huh? I've already gathered all the evidence to prove your relationship with her.
Evidence.
Yes, You probably thought I'd turn a blind eye to your affair because you thought I'd have trouble living without you after the divorce. Too bad. I'm not the type to be humiliated like that without doing anything about it. I had secretly hired a detective agency to monitor their actions. The investigation confirmed that both Sam and Emily were indeed meeting each other regularly. There were even photos of them entering hotels together in an intimate manner. They couldn't deny their physical relationship anymore. No matter how much you deny the affair, all the evidence is there. I'll be speaking to you through my lawyer from now on, so look forward to it. You'll both be paying hefty compensation. I smiled at the pale-faced pair who had realized the severity of their situation.
No, don't leave me. I just lost my mind for a moment, but you're still the most important to me.
With that, Sam stood up and begged me, tears streaming down his face. Stop it. How pathetic. Saying things you don't mean just because you don't want to lose your job. You can get along with that younger girl as well as you want. Despite trying to shake him off, Sam continued to cry and cling to me without letting go. Just as I was at a loss for what to do, a passing police officer noticed the commotion and approached us. I explained the situation, and they restrained Sam.
Og. How did it come to this?
It seemed like Sam was now prostrating himself on the ground, crying, "It's all your own doing. Goodbye." Leaving the situation to the police, I bid farewell to Sam and left the scene. Afterwards, I pursued compensation from them through a lawyer. With all the evidence of their infidelity, they realized they couldn't wriggle out of it and reluctantly agreed to pay compensation. When I told my parents about the divorce and the reasons behind it, they were furious. Since my parents never had a good impression of Sam, they demanded to know what kind of education was being provided at Sam and Emily's company. The executives at the company were taken aback by my father's sternness, and both Sam and Emily pleaded for leniency, promising strict disciplinary action against them. Sam was demoted from his managerial position and transferred to a regional branch, completely derailing his career path. Similarly, Emily was also sent to a remote location, but the circumstances surrounding their transfer had already become a big topic of gossip within the company, and they were viewed with suspicion as an adulterous couple. Eventually, unable to bear the cold atmosphere between them and the company, they both ended up resigning voluntarily. I heard through the grapevine that their lives took a turn for the worse after resigning. At first, it seems like Emily started working night shifts and was supporting Sam. But Sam couldn't bear the blow to his pride from falling from his elite status, so he lost all motivation to work and became a jobless. It seems that Emily couldn't stand arguing with Sam, who had become like that. In the end, Emily left Sam and walked away. Left by Emily, Sam became distrustful of people and, unable to work, now lives on welfare while being a shut-in. I couldn't help feeling a little sorry for his unexpected downfall from his previous self, but ultimately, it was the result of his own actions of disregarding me, his wife, and doing as he pleased. But I also acknowledge my own faults. By yielding to Sam's unilateral demands and endearing our marriage, I inadvertently allowed his arrogant behavior to escalate. Now, I work as an office worker at my father's company. I've become close with a single manager I met there, and we're planning to get married soon. We communicate openly and have a relationship based on mutual respect. It's all thanks to the lessons learned from my failed marriage with Sam. I'm sure I can finally find happiness with a trustworthy partner this time. Seeing him enjoy my cooking every day, saying it's delicious, delicious, I can't help but think so.